NBC News had a story yesterday with this headline: police across U.S. respond to Derek Chauvin trial. Our American way of policing is on trial. Across the country, police officers and commanders, active and retired, are watching Chauvin's trial with a mix of interest and angst. While some officers see the trial as an encouraging example of the criminal justice system holding a rogue cop accountable, others see it as a sign that a growing portion of the country, led by the media, politicians, prosecutors, and top commanders, has turned against them. Lieutenant Orange, do you believe that a growing portion of the country has turned against you, turned against law enforcement?
Well, some people may have, but I don't believe that that's the general population. Our community just want us to be fair, want us to be right, want us to do what we said that we would do when we took that oath to serve and protect. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for us to do exactly what we say and be trustworthy. They want us to be lawful.
You know, when I watched your video op-ed at the New York Times, and this question kept coming to mind, and so I'm so glad we're having this conversation. How do you do it? How do you do it as a Black police officer? How do you do your job in the climate that we're in when there is so much distrust between the Black community, between African Americans and law enforcement, and yet you are a member of law enforcement?
Yes, sir. Sometimes it's difficult, but it's never difficult when you do what is right. If you are just do what is right, state your truth, stand in it, walk in it, speak it, live it, the people will understand. Your community gets it. They understand that, hey, this is a police officer, or these group of police officers is doing the expectations of what we expect them to do as our protectors out there. So, yes, sometimes it has its challenges, but overall, once you do what's right, that is what goes a long, long way. But when you do what's wrong, the people are just not looking at it. They don't want officers to do well. How can we, as officers, tell them, hey, you need to do this, and then we turn around and do just the opposite? That doesn't work. How does that state for our community that we are out here to help them, to be there for them, to support them, and do what's right? That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Also, in your video op-ed, you show how when one of your members got
Yes.
into trouble off duty, you kicked him out of your union, out of your society for what he did. Lieutenant Orange, I want to you can respond to that, but I also want to get you to take a look at this poll from Gallup from June, July of last year, 2020. Confidence in the police among African Americans, some very little to none, overwhelming at 80%. But say what you were going to say about that member of your police union, and then talk about how can you boost the level of confidence among African Americans towards law enforcement?
Well, as far as our member, we do support our members to a certain extent, especially when they are doing the right things. But when they are doing the wrong things, that we tell them that we cannot stand by that conduct. That behavior is unacceptable. And that is not what our mission is. That is not what we stand for. And the community looks at us and as a moral compass, basically to say that, hey, are they doing what's right? So how can we tell them to do what's right? And again, that we don't do what's right. And as far as the Gallup poll, one of the reasons that we can really help change that is just be more engaged in our community, and also to look at police reform and make sure that it's the police reform that the community that can buy into by our policies and our procedures.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.